I think conversion ads are going to be difficult for you to convert unless you've done a lot of research um, into who it is that you're actually trying to target, and your ad and your context or text or captions and your website and your product, all of that fits and speaks to that individual. Obviously, they're more likely to convert. If you haven't done all of that research and you're still trying to figure things out, you may want to go with awareness or engagement ads. But I would only suggest awareness or engagement ads if you're extremely active, um, organically. Like you're posting in your feed, you're posting on your stories, you're using reels, you're using lives, because you're getting all this new awareness. But if you're not doing anything with it, it's no point. Culture Beauty by Tracy. Hey, how's it going? Again, if you're just joining, send me some questions. We're doing the Q&A. So I'll answer these questions from YouTube while y'all think of y'all questions. Join my Okay, so the first question is what to do if your ads don't work. The first thing I would do is go through my data to see your data that you generated in your ads manager, um, to see how your ads perform as far as getting people from Facebook to your website. So the data you want to pay attention to is your click-through rate, what percentage of people saw the ad and actually clicked on it. You also want to pay attention to things such as cost per click. You also want to pay attention to if people were adding products to their cart. If people were adding products to their cart, and you had like a 1% or better click-through rate on your ads, and your cost per click was like $1 or less, that means your ads perform well as far as Facebook is concerned. Now you have to figure out why your website didn't convert those people into customers. Do you think it's best doing ads from Facebook or Instagram? You're gonna have to test both. Like I'm running ads right now, and I'll give you a real life example. My ads just don't perform well at all on Facebook, but I'm still willing to test over there to see what's what. So, for example, I have a webinar coming up on Thursday, and per lead, I'm paying about $1.15 on Instagram. So every lead I get on Instagram, I'm paying $1.15. On Facebook, it's $6. So I have to turn those off. But I wouldn't know that unless I test. So I can't tell you which one is better than the other. I would say if you spend more time on Instagram, I would run my ads on Instagram first before I do anything. Then once you get your Instagram ads working, then you move over to Facebook. But both platforms are worth testing at the same time. Whichever one's getting you, the cheapest cost per action, whatever the action is that you're trying to get people to take, that's the one you probably want to feed the majority of your money into. The next question is how much should you spend on ads? That's going to be a preference thing. So daily budget versus how much you spend in total. That's what you kind of have to figure out. It's not how much you spend daily. That's not that important. How much you spend on your ads in total is going to be the most important thing. Because let's say if you sell wigs and on average your wig's about $300, you may have to spend, let's say $100 in ad spend to get that sale, to squeeze out a sale, to drive enough traffic to get a conversion. So if you're doing a $5 per day budget, it will take you 20 days to hit that $100 in ad spend. If you're doing a $20 per day budget, it'll take you 5 days to hit that $100 in ad spend. So don't focus so much on what you're spending daily. Focus more on what you spend overall. If you're finding this live stream helpful or informative, please like it, share it. If you just joined, we're doing Q&A. So if y'all have any questions, send them over. Also, if you're interested in learning how to market your business the right way in 2022, using social media, not only ads, not only Instagram, but platforms such as YouTube, Google, Twitter, Pinterest, email marketing. Consider joining my membership. You can do so by clicking the link in my bio. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Press one in the chat if you use hashtags in your content. I keep getting a lot of questions about hashtags. Do hashtags work? Press one in the chat if you're currently using hashtags. Press two in the chat if you feel like hashtags don't work for you. Yes, the course will still be available then. One, Okay, so a lot of people do use hashtags. Now, do the for the people who are using hashtags consistently, do you feel like okay, I put it like this. Do you feel like it's more effective to use hashtags or create good content? So comment hashtag if you think it's more effective to use hashtags. Comment good content if you think it's more effective to create good content. Can you give tips on how to choose hashtags? Well, can you resend the question? It's not showing up. I got the notification, but the question didn't actually come through. Tips on choosing good hashtags. I would probably look for local hashtags that don't have a lot of people creating content for them. When you try to, and I want everybody to pay attention to the answers. The majority of people answered good content. Now, why I pose that question that way is because a lot of people rely solely on hashtags, and they ignore the content part. But if you create a good piece of content and you just forgot to put hashtags that day, Instagram is still going to show your content out to your audience. If you create a piece of trash content and you put hashtags on it, they're not going to show it to anyone. So hashtags do help you get more awareness, more reach, sometimes more engagement. But the most important thing is going to be the quality of your content. So I always stress or urge people to focus on creating high quality content versus focusing on trying to, do these little hacks with posting at the right time or posting 3 times a day or using hashtags. If you post 3 times a day and your content isn't good, no one's going to see it. If you use hashtags, content isn't good, no one's going to see it. If you post at that time where your audience is most likely to be online and the content isn't good, they're not going to show it to anyone. I'm all over this, really not showing up in any place I need. I just figure I think my combination of gold. Using number. Okay, got it. So same with so someone say they try to use hashtags with under 5K posts, but no more than 500. When I was growing our hair page, Instagram, and I was using hashtags, they were pretty effective back then. I would do 10 high competition hashtags, 10 medium competition hashtags, and 10 low competition hashtags, since you do have the ability to put up to 30 in your post. So that's how I kind of decide which hashtags I'm going to use. Magic Hair Company, Fluid Your Hair, thanks for joining. Joyfully Crown, can you resend your question? Also, if y'all have questions, send them through the question box so it can turn the live into a Q&A, which will help us get more people in here. Any questions? Let's see the next question. So next question on the list was the best content for ads. I personally like video over photos. Another thing you can do is go to the Facebook ad library to see what type of content your competitors are using and do your best to mimic that type of content. You can also just go through your existing content, whatever content gets the most engagement. You probably can run that as an ad as well. So, um, long story short, test as much as you can to find that winning combination as far as content is concerned. Is it worth paying someone to do your SEO? Yes and no. So if you have the money, yes. The thing about SEO, you're probably not going to see results for like 6 to 12 months. So you're going to be paying this person for about a year before you actually start seeing, a return on your money. So that's the thing you kind of have to figure out if it's worth doing that, because I've ran into two particular companies who have hired SEOs and they complained about them, but their website was actually getting organic search traffic from Google. The thing is, they probably had paid these companies like 3 or 4 months. They didn't see any results. Then they fired them and say, oh, they didn't work. But in 6 to 12 months, when the results came in and they actually started receiving traffic, these people are already fired and they had already said, the SEO doesn't work. So just keep in mind, you could be paying 6 to 12 months before seeing results. It also is best to try to learn this on your own, even for trying to hire someone else. If you're educated on how SEO works in the oh wow. I'm always having these technical issues, so my phone overheated. Um, Damn it, that was a good live too. So my phone overheated. Um, is anyone still watching on YouTube? Ain't that a bitch? Let's see. Facebook or Instagram ads. We already did that. Will ads work for you? So, I'm trying to determine if ads are going to work for you or not. Um, you probably should already be converting. Yes, your comments are coming up. Um, your site probably should already be converting. And also, if y'all have any questions on, I'm still here. For some reason, it's not showing like the amount of people that's actually viewing the stream. But anyway, if y'all have questions on YouTube, just throw them in the chat and I'll get to them. So, will ads work for you? If your site is not already converting, ads are probably not going to work for you. So, but again, like I always say, it is worth testing. Like they say, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Still test your ads, even if they're going to work, maybe not work for you. It's still worth seeing. So, have a set amount of money that you're willing to test on ads to see if they will work for you. Another thing is, even if someone doesn't buy from you, then you still have created awareness around the fact that you exist. Um, I think I've been running ads probably the last 2 weeks, and even though my ads are not, immediately profitable, still getting sales, but not immediately profitable, that awareness and these new followers is still worth something in the future. So that matters as well. Y'all wouldn't believe how many people I end up doing business with who like, oh, I've been following you for a year. I've been following you for 6 months. So that's why it is extremely important to be consistent, show up every day, because you never know who's watching, never know who's paying attention. Um, I don't know exactly how to narrow down the audience for ads. However, you think is because I'm not on desktop. Yeah, you definitely want to try to access your ads manager from the desktop. You're going to get way more way more features. Google Ads giving me a lots of awareness. Only a few sales for me. Yeah, proof this work. Yeah, like these big companies, and I can admit I've played it's called CPA, cost per acquisition, um, cost per purchase game, where you're trying to make money profitable, or you're trying to make your ads profitable, up front. And this may sound crazy, but that's small time. Even if, let's say you're making 50 to 100K per month from your ads profitably, that's still practicing business on a small level. And why I say that is because these big brands, I'm talking like as big as Apple, or these big influencers. I don't know if y'all familiar with like Grant Cardone and those guys. They just need to make sure that they are being seen by someone. Someone is being made aware that they exist. They're looking for the amount of impressions they got that month or that week. They're not worried about, we got a $50 conversion for a $300 sale. They don't care about that. That's playing on the smallest level. They want people consistently seeing their brand, their logo, their messaging every day, all the time, 365 days a year. So if you can't play that game, play it. But and even now, we're kind of forced to use different strategies with our ads because ad cost is just way too high. Cost per clicks are way too high. Cost per conversions are way too high. So the ads are just not profitable anyway. So we kind of have to go back to the drawing board and figure out a different strategy that's going to work for us, a long-term strategy, and that's, playing the impressions game. Let's see if we can get back on Instagram. Let's see. Any questions from y'all or who are watching on YouTube? Dang it, Bobby. I know what I can do. How do you build awareness starting from nothing with no followers? Give me something hard. That's easy. Now, which platform are you talking about? Are you talking about Instagram? Are you talking about building awareness on Instagram with no followers, brand new? You need to go out and find larger pages within your industry that sell products or services similar to you, that have an audience that you want, and you want to engage with their followers. You want to like the content of their followers. You want to comment on their posts. You want to follow them. You want to save their posts. You want to view their stories. Everything that I just named is called social signals. So you're sending signals out to these people, letting them know you exist. Once you send out these like signals, these follow signals, once you send out these like signals, these follow signals, these comment signals, these story view signals, people are gonna say, hey, I got this notification from Wonder Shields. Let me go view their profile. In order to get more followers, more website clicks, more engagement, you need to increase your profile visits. In order to increase profile visits, you need to go and engage with people on the platform. So yeah, if y'all were watching on the last one. So if you sent the question on the last live we were on and I didn't answer it, please resend it. I had my phone like charging while I was live streaming and it like overheated or something. Man, that was a good live too. I was about to chop that boy up, and I was gonna have content for the whole week. I gotta start all over again. How do you stay consistent when I have no new content? I get that the key is to post, but I have nothing new if I'm not making sales. Go live. If you don't have any like new content to post to your feed, you do have the ability to turn that camera on and hit that live button and talk. That's gonna be your best bet. And within that live, if you're sitting there answering questions about your products and services, then you can go ahead and chop that live up. And now you have all of these other individual smaller pieces of content that you can distribute to your news feed, to your reels, to your stories. Is personal branding still relevant? It's relevant if you're trying to build a personal brand. And that's just going to be a preference thing. So if you have the ability to juggle a personal brand and your business, do so. If you're going to be the face of your brand and you don't mind, like merging the two, where you don't have to juggle both platforms or two profiles. For IG ads, do you recommend automatic or customized? I recommend customized. I've tried that automatic thing. I didn't like how so I did the automatic ad setup and I did 3 different pieces of content, but I didn't have the ability to go in and turn off the individual pieces of content. Let's say I have like A, B, and C ad and C's not performing and I want to turn that one off so it's not spending any of my money. I didn't have that ability, so I didn't like that part. How do you reuse a live recording? Save it to your phone. Then you can use something like InShot to chop the content up. If you're just joining, we're doing Q&A, so send me all of your questions. Also, if you're finding value in this live stream, please like it, please share it with all your other business owner friends. Another question was, is your site ready for ads? So this is basically going to be a conversion rate question. If your site is not already converting the traffic that you're already sending to it, 9 times out of 10 it's not going to be able to convert paid traffic. All traffic usually performs the same, all high quality traffic, because all traffic is not created equally, but high quality traffic usually performs the same. So organically, if you're converting, just from you posting your content, posting on your feed, your stories, going live, if you can convert that traffic, you usually can convert paid traffic. How do I convert my IG live to a podcast? I would put it in like iMovie and strip the audio and just delete the video. I think I've gotten in the information overload stage with ads and become stagnant. I've recently allocated money towards marketing. I want to get to where I'm having consistent sales. I put in a lot of time, not a certain point in my business. Yeah, at that point, if you feel like you're just consuming a lot of information and not using it, that's a sign that it's time to take action. I don't know if you are or you're not. But at some point, there's nothing more you can learn about a subject, especially ads. It's fairly simple. The hard part is, I guess, the technical part of setting it up. But once you figure that out, it's super simple. You want to have cheap cost per click, because this is a numbers game. And you want to have a website that can convert. So when I say cheap cost per click, if your cost per click is $1 and your site converts at 1%, that's telling you right there that every $100 you spend, you should see 1 conversion. If $100 spent on ads gets you 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times your money, then that's a working ad campaign. If $100 spent on ads puts you in the negative, then you kind of have to go back to the drawing board at that point. I think a lot of people, they're looking for some secret as far as ads are concerned, and it's not any. It's all map. You need a website that can convert. You need content that can stop someone from scrolling and click on your ad to get them to your website so they can be converted into a customer. If you're just joining, doing Q&A, send me all your questions. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, some of us, we can't continue to play the game where we exchange $1 and expect $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8 out. That no longer works for some of us. We have to kind of switch up our strategy and maybe play the awareness game where we're just paying, trying to get the engagement, trying to get the awareness, and through our organic content that we create on our news feed, for reels, for stories, for IG live, we use that to actually convert them. That's a longer game, but I think, in the long term, it's way more effective than trying to just pay to play. If you're just joining, we're doing Q&A. Send me all your questions. Also, for those of you interested in learning how to market your business using channels such as YouTube, Google, Pinterest, Twitter, email marketing, Instagram, and ads, consider joining my membership program. You can do so by clicking the link in my bio. If you have any questions about the membership, feel free to send me a DM. I think it's figuring out what content to use, the ad copy, etc. Even that part is super simple. Go to the Facebook ad library, see what your competitors are doing, and mimic them. If you're selling hair, it's super, super easy. The head and the hair needs to be taking up the majority of the frame. So the focus of the content is on the hair. It needs to have a lot of good lighting, and it has to be in HD. That's good content for ads. Ad copy, you just want to call out to who it is that you're looking for. For example, I can give you ad copy. So one problem that's within the hair space is trash or low quality hair. You can call out in your ad copy, hey, are you tired of low quality hair? If so, we have the perfect solution for you. Our hair is blank, 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 this, and that. So you're basically listing all of the benefits of your hair that's combating the trash hair. Then from there, you say, hey, if you want to learn more about our hair, go to our website. What's the best way to grow on IG? You can run ads, engagement ads to grow your account, or you can go out and engage on the platform for 10 to 15 minutes a day, going out and liking people's posts, commenting on people's posts, following people, viewing their stories. The thing is, you want to make sure the people that you're engaging with are people that you would potentially want to do business with. You don't want to just engage with anyone. To find these people, go to the pages of your competitors. If there's a certain brand that you like, go to it and engage with their followers. A small percentage of the people that you engage with will come visit your profile and follow you. I may need a one-on-one just to figure out what the content I'm creating. Taking that course already, so I understand something. I really put in my struggle. Information. I have the information. How do I execute? With the execution part, you just have to get out there and get active. Even that part, I think most people know what they have to do. It's just, outside things stopping them. A lot of the time, it's like mindset. You have all of the strategies in the world, but it could be, as little as something going on in your life that's stopping you from doing what you need to do in your business. So all of that stuff kind of comes into play, mindset, external shit in your life, when doing what you need to do in business. Even for me, this is probably like my third or fourth business, but this is the one that, actually did something significant. Not saying I didn't have, some type of success in the previous businesses, which I did, but they weren't long lasting, because they weren't built that way. between, you know, trying to have a business and dealing with life and this and that. Um, Sometimes you start to take away from your business and things that you should be doing in your business because your focus is elsewhere. So I say all of that to say, um, you know, really just sit around and assess what it is that you want to do in your business, what goals you have for your business. Then I think from there you can kind of like reverse engineer what steps you need to take in your life. And it can be stuff, you know, as little as like your diet or what you eat or saving money and this and that. So hopefully that helps. If anyone's watching live on YouTube, I mean Instagram, you have any questions, send them through. Now Instagram don't want to send my content out. See, that's all right. I'll be back tomorrow. What are you saying? All of them too. If you're just joining, we're doing Q&A, so y'all send me some questions. I'm about to start sending this live out to people. Let's see. See, I don't mind hopping in people DMs. If y'all been following me long enough, y'all probably ain't got a DM from me. Sending this shit to everybody. I struggle with marketing. Any tips, advice? Give me a more specific question. Um, but yeah, I have a lot of tips and advice. But uh, give me some direction. I'm trying to reach my six figure here. I see so many others that have accomplished this, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Diet, etc. I'm sure I have. It could be consistency. It's also awareness. It's probably everything that's stopping you from reaching six figures. Another thing is you can't really watch other people and say, you know, what are they doing to get, you know, the six figures, and, you know, why can't I get there? Because it's variables that you may not be able to see. Um, for example, one thing I realized, like a lot of these girls are like funded, meaning, you know, they have resources, whether it's out of their pocket or someone else's, to get them to where they are. And you're trying to do this from scratch with nothing, you know, just creating content. So you can't really look at it that way. One thing you can focus on is what work, what effort did you put in that day. If you can do that day in and day out, not worry about getting paid, show up every day consistently, create quality content, engage with your audience, build the rapport with them, you're going to get that six figure business. Do you have any experience working with TikTok ads? No. I have tested TikTok ads, but they didn't work for me. When and I think I know why. The content, if it doesn't look native, like it belongs on TikTok, and it looks like an ad, it's not going to work. If I'm swiping through TikTok and it looks like a TikTok, they'll stop and engage and probably click through on your ad. So if you are running TikTok ads, just make sure the content looks like it belongs on TikTok. Is running ads still a big thing? I hear a lot about organic traffic is becoming big. Organic traffic has always been king, always. Um, Paid traffic is king as well. You know, it's people spending millions of dollars a day on paid traffic. The thing is, um, if your site can't convert that paid traffic or the organic traffic, if your site can't convert organic traffic, then paid traffic most likely isn't going to work for you either. So, yes, paid traffic still works, um, but one thing that has happened is the cost has went up very high. So, it may not work for you. That's the thing you gotta kind of figure out. If what you're paying for this traffic to your website is going to be less than the sales it's going to bring you. So that's why I always stress it's important to know your website conversion rate before even running ads. How does funnels work? A funnel is just like, I'm not explaining. So, like how I use funnels is, let's say I'm trying to get you to sign up for a webinar or book a call or something. I may send you to a landing page where I collect the phone number and email. Once you enter that, it takes you to a page where you watch a video. That video try to convince you to know, like, and trust me. From there, button pops up to take you to another page to buy something or book a call. That's a funnel. You basically just like nurturing someone, trying to get them to that desired action you need them to take. Diva, hey, how's it going? How do you fix if your website is converting? You want to make sure your product pages are filled out to the T. One company that does this really well is Yummy Hair Extensions. If you go to their product pages, you're going to get all relevant information needed for me to make a buying decision right there on the product page. So detailed product description, shipping policy, exchange policy, return policy, product reviews, detailed product photos, product videos. It's just going to be decked out. So all information someone needs to make a buying decision needs to be on your individual product pages. That's going to help increase conversions. Also, having a live chat is going to help increase conversions, because if I have any questions while I'm on your site, I can hit that chat, get that answered, then I'm more likely to buy something. Also, you need to be collecting phone numbers and emails. So people are coming to your site, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to buy on the first time. You need to have some type of follow-up process in place, collecting phone numbers or emails. So when they leave, you can send them some, information, content, whatever, to try to get them back to your site to buy something. The more times you can get people to your site, the more likely they are to buy. That's me, straight hustle. I love what I do. So yeah, if you already have that mentality, you already know what time it is. You know, at least you need to show up every day. The 6 figures, 7 figures that's coming. You just need to keep going. I think it probably took me, I didn't monetize iGrow Salons when I first launched it. I was just trying to provide, people with as much value as possible. So it probably took me about 6 months, but I did overload all of the channels available to me. I was on Facebook groups, YouTube, podcasts, Instagram, showing up every day on all of these channels, trying to make a name for myself. So you just have to keep at it. How many products do you think a website needs? Just one good one. I see a lot of people, they have all of these products on their site. People get to your site and they get confused and they don't buy anything because there's just too much going on. Start looking through the data on your website. If you see the majority of people coming to your site are looking at your body wave and your frontal and your, deep wave wig, like 75% of the people are looking at just those 3 products. Those are the products you need to focus on. Overload, you post on all of them. Yes. When I first got started, and even now, I'm still on all of these channels. Maybe not as much as, on the podcast, but even Clubhouse. See, this person found me on Clubhouse, and we were spending hours on Clubhouse. 8 hours a day, probably. But that's how bad I wanted it. So that's why, I don't really have sympathy for people who complain and say, oh, I'm not getting these results. Then, you go check out their page and they're not putting in the work. They're posting like every week, every 2 weeks. You don't really want it bad enough. So just be consistent with it. Show up every day. The money's going to come. Also have it in your mind that, and another thing that got me through was I listened to a lot of Gary Vee when I was just getting started with this. And he always stressed, be comfortable with not making money. And I had that in my mind. I didn't care about making money. I just cared about providing value. That's all he talked about. Value first, provide value. So that's what I did. I showed up with value. And like I said, the money eventually started rolling in. Can I send you my marketing strategy? Yes, you can. I love Gary Vee. True as me, trying to be consistent. I feel it. Yeah, and prior to, so I have both sides. Like prior to this, I was always focused on the money, and I ended up not making anything. I didn't have patience. I wanted it tomorrow. I was doing all these hacks. I was trying to be behind the scenes, trying to do the passive approach to this. So I recognize all of this in all business owners. When I have these coaching calls and this and that, like I know what's stopping you from getting to where you're trying to get to. It's you. It's nothing else. It's you. It's not the algorithm, like people like to say. It's not hashtags. It's you getting in your own way. And patience is one of them. Like the business that I have now, I've always wanted. Like, probably for the past 7 years. But it took me 7 years to get here. And I grow salons, I think it's probably in its third year. So, but I was able to hit the ground running and use my past experience to kind of get to where I was able to get to fairly quickly. I also paid attention to what was going on within the industry, and pivoted and learned and applied and learned and applied and learned and applied. And I was able to make something. Gonna be like, let's see. Did I miss any questions? If you're just joining, we're doing Q&A. So if y'all have any questions, send them through. But yeah, for those of you who are just getting started, I know it's rough. Especially with the outside stuff. If you need money for bills and to live, and you're dumping money into your business, you're not seeing anything return. I get it, but just stay consistent and pay attention. The pay attention part is crucial. Like I can give you an example in my business. Like when the pandemic hit, I made a big pivot. And it probably took me about a week to decide because for a year I had been doing this one thing. And the pandemic hit and I was like forced to either continue doing that one thing or switch it up for where I thought the market was going. And that's when I made the switch to stop talking about general marketing, general Instagram, general whatever, and focus specifically on ads. And when I made that switch, that's when my business like went through the roof. So even with you, if you're not paying attention and trying to understand where the market is going, you're not trying to understand your customers, you're not reading through comments, you're not, going to your competitors' comment section, seeing how they're dropping the ball. These, are opportunities that you can miss out on. So always keep your ear to the ground. Pay attention to what's going on in the marketplace. Understand what's going on. Understand, the people that are in it, people that you may need to engage with, interact with. Like I have a friend that, jumped in the hair business and she doesn't know anything about it. Like as far as, I guess her main focus was trying to source hair, but it's other stuff we got to worry about too. Like who are the top 10, 20 hairstylists I may need to know in case I need to go engage with them. Maybe I need to send them some product. Who are the top 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 hair influencers that I may need to engage with or, potentially send them some product. So you have to do your research when entering these markets as well. I had a coaching call, with the lady, and she was like stuck on that, since she had a corporate background, she felt, she was smarter than the industry. And since she supposedly knew these other companies' suppliers that, she had unlocked some little secret that was going to get her success in the hair industry. And a year later, and $40,000 spent on influencers and hiring people to do this and hiring people to do that, no sales. So a lot of y'all have it real easy. Like, I know some of y'all ain't spent close to $40,000. It's just like y'all done spent time. But there's people out here who's dumped thousands of dollars into this and still haven't seen like one or two sales, which is crazy, but it happens. If you just joined and we're doing Q&A, y'all send me some questions. Also, again, I always got to do my call to actions. For those of you who are interested in learning more about how to market your business in 2022, tap the link in my bio to learn more about my membership program. Belinda, Anna, Destiny, thanks for joining. Chiba, thanks for joining. If y'all have any questions, send them through. Can you give a breakdown for somebody just starting? Give me a little bit more. Give me something specific that I can answer for you. Like, because I don't know where to start. Like, I can give you, a guide of what I would do if I were you, but give me, somewhere to start, and I'll start there. Is there a certain conversion rate you should have when running ads? Yeah, I say at least a 1%. You want at least a 1% conversion rate when running ads, or before you start running ads. If you have anything lower, like a 0.5, 0.6, something like that, maybe don't run ads to people who don't know you. Run retargeting ads to people who have been to your site, or been to your site and added to cart, or even people who have engaged with your content. At least those people somewhat know you. They're more likely to convert versus trying to go chase down a brand new person that don't know you. For your program, do we choose what kind of ads to run for our business? For your program, do we have a choice, I'm guessing, or what kind of ads to run? I don't think I'm fully understanding your question. I'm at 1.9. Yeah. If you're at a 1.19, definitely test out some ads. Stush Creations, thanks for joining. I have quality hair and I want to sell it, just don't know where to start. Love creating content, but how does somebody get those first 5 sales? So it's a numbers game. The first 5 sales, if you're trying to drive traffic to your website, to get 5 people to buy, let's say your website converts at 1%, that means you need to send 500 people over to your website. So now from there, you got to reverse engineer how we're going to get those 500 people to our website. What do we have to do? We're going to create content. We're going to create reels. We're going to go live. We're going to do email marketing. So you kind of have to figure out which channel you're going to use to market your business to get that traffic over to your website. How many help on the back end? Do I have my pixel and everything set up? Yeah, definitely have your pixel set up and collecting data before you turn on your ads. So to Belinda, figure out which platform you want to market your business on. Figure out which platform you're comfortable with showing up every day to. If that's Instagram, now you want to come up with some type of strategy. If you have quality of hair, we need to be speaking to the fact that we have quality of hair. We also need to be educating our audience as well. That's going to be key. Most people don't buy your hair, specifically hair, because they don't know enough about it. They see these terms: frontals, closures, HD, switch lace, all of that stuff, but they don't know what that stuff is. If you can educate your audience, they're more likely to buy your stuff because they know what they're buying. So create educational content. If you want to get topics that you could be talking about, go to Google and type in a root keyword such as frontal or HD lace or switch lace or closure or HD wig, whatever, and Google's going to give you a list of questions that people are coming to Google and asking about these topics. They're going to Google and asking because they're not getting the answers on Instagram. If you can provide your audience with these answers where they're already at on Instagram and they no longer have to go to Google, they're going to reward you essentially in the long term with money. They're going to start buying your products because you're educating them. They're going to remember, hey, I learned all of this from Dreamless Hair. So, let me give them my money when I do need hair. Let's see. I'm currently doing a 30-day live challenge. So I may spark that back up. Previously, we have done a live challenge where you're supposed to go live every day, at least 5 minutes a day for 30 days. And this helps you get comfortable with being on camera, get comfortable with interacting with your audience in real time. It also gives you ability to create content that you can potentially chop up into smaller pieces of content to distribute across your other channels. How often should you post? At the bare minimum, 1 time per day. If you have the ability to do more, 2 or 3 times per day, that's fine as well. Just keep in mind quality over quantity. Because if you post 10 times per day and your content is no good, it's not going to get any reach anyway. So focus on the quality. Then from there, once you figure that quality part out, then start dumping as much as you can. If you're finding value in this live stream, please like it, please share it. How often do you recommend running ads when first starting out? I would get just a set budget that you're willing to spend for the month and just let that run out. So if you have, let's say, $100 that you're willing to spend on ads for the month, divide 100 by 30 days, spend, $333 per day, and, go from there. But I don't suggest, just letting your ads run 7 days and turning them off, or 14 days, turning them off. Let your ads run consistently. What's up? Yes, ma'am. Can I have a Topo Chico?
Oh, I got you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Are you literally?
Can you turn it on?
Are you saying that on your life? I stay here.
I feel people. So yes, like this person said, I feel people buy into people. That's why I always stress going live and showing up for your audience in real time. A lot of people try to do this passively. Like I know a couple of brands that just try to post memes and content that they didn't even create to get sales, and it makes no sense. Like, how's a meme going to convey who you are, or the quality of your hair, or how long it lasts, or if it can be washed, or if it could be, or heat could be applied? Because these questions are not even answered, once someone even gets to your website. This person is literally just expecting to post a funny meme. Then from there, someone goes to their website and gives them money. When you can build like real relationships with people, real rapport, show up every day, people are more likely to do business with you. Toy E. Smith, thanks for joining. If you're just joining, we're doing Q&A, so y'all send me over some questions. What's up?
You answer? How much is that?
100. I'll call you. Or I'll come up there.
Could stay right here.
Mm-mm. Well, if we don't have any questions or there are any topics y'all like me to discuss, I'll probably be on for another 10 minutes or so if I get some questions. So y'all send me everything y'all got. But yeah, I like personally doing the Q&As because, I get to provide y'all with value in real time, but also I get to save my lives and chop them up into smaller individual pieces of content. That way I don't have to worry about having to create new content all the time, even though I'm always creating content. Deluxe Hair Source. Hey, how's it going? What's up, dude?
You finished?
Huh?
You finished?
No.
Nothing, just standing here.
Do you recommend having a marketing strategy? Yeah, you definitely should have some type of strategy in mind when trying to approach this. Whether you're coming from educational point of view, whether you're just going to create this high quality um, shareable content, let's say you can do hair, or you have the ability to hire people to wear your hair, or you have the ability to, send your hair to hairstylists and let them, do their thing. You have to figure that out, because if you don't know that in advance, you're gonna struggle when it comes to creating the content or getting the content posted. I think, like I always say, the easiest thing to do is start with the educational approach first. That way, you always have something to talk about, and you're providing value to your audience. How does ads on Pinterest? They work the same as any other platform. I think Pinterest cost per click over on Pinterest is going to be a lot cheaper. But as far as setting them up, it's pretty much like any other platform. You have to set up your pixel. Then from there you just set up your ads. I have run ads on on Pinterest. I didn't see the results I thought I should have been seen, but I think we did get some sales. But all of these platforms, you're just gonna have to keep testing. But I have tried Pinterest, I have tried TikTok, I've done Google ads, I've done YouTube ads. My favorite is gonna be Instagram. It's just straight to the point. We get that instant response. It seems like I tried Snapchat ads as well. It's like these other platforms, they're finicky. They work, but not always for me.